Everybody ready? Let's talk about it.
So Don Lemon got fired yesterday from CNN. And frankly, I'm okay with it. You know, it's a I know he's a black man and you hate to see people out of work, but frankly, it's good for him. Don Lemon is a nasty person, you know. And the crazy part about it, he's been there and they didn't even tell him to his face. Have you ever worked for a temp agency and you go to work and you think everything's cool? You've been there for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you're like, okay, I'm digging this. I could get with this. And you get home, well, you work that whole day that day, and things are great, nothing out of the ordinary. You don't think nothing of anything. You get home and you get a call from the temp agency and they done told you that you got let go from that job that you was placed at. I bet that's how Don Lemon felt. Because, like I said, they didn't even tell him. They told his publicist. And he was there for 17 years. They ain't even say nothing to him. They made him feel like everything was good, everything was smooth and whatever. And then they just dropped it on him. And again, I feel no ways about it. There are two things that stand out about him that rub me the wrong way. Remember when everybody had to get jabbed up or they was losing their jobs? He had the audacity to talk down on the unvaccinated folks. He has such disdain, such anger. He was so disgusted with the unvaccinated people. It was just like his blood will boil. He even made a statement about it and he was so disrespectful. He didn't even understand why people chose not to or didn't care. Not that it was any of his business or whatever, but people had their right. They were being forced to take it, and folks just felt like, no, I'm not ready for this. But he made everybody feel bad. He went to hospitals and everything talking about how, oh, it's the unvaxxed that's making people sick in the hospital. They're the ones that's flooding up the hospital. A whole bunch of mess he had to say about them folks. He even wanted them to be fired, his nasty self. So that's part of the reason why I don't feel bad for him. He put all that nasty energy in the atmosphere, and here it come. It came back around. You can't be talking dirt. You don't know what's gonna happen to you. Look at him. He was vaxxed up and everything, and he still got fired. Got vaxxed up and still fired. So you wasn't safe. You know what I mean? Look in New York. All the people that got fired for being unvaccinated, they got their back pay because of that. Unlawful law for them to fire people because they were unvaxxed.
I think we have to stop coddling people when it comes to this and the vaccine, saying, oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are. The people who aided and abetted Trump are stupid because they believed his big lie. The people who are not getting vaccines, who are believing the lies on the internet instead of science, it's time to start shaming them. What else? Or leave them behind.
Another reason why I'm like, good for him, kudos to you for getting fired, is because he went out and he played himself when he was talking to Nikki Haley. You know, he was misogynistic. It's like he was just downgrading women. And I didn't like that one itty bitty bit. So that's another reason why I'd be like, good for you, Don Lemon. I'm glad you got yourself fired. Came about when Nikki Haley went on his show. Mind you, he was on CNN and he was like top dog prime time. He was the dog of, CNN. So after a little bit of shakeup went on at CNN, they ended up putting him to like early morning shows. So he had like a 2 hour solo show in prime time, and they took that away because his ratings was like tank. So they pulled him from that, and then they put him on in the morning with two women. Okay. During that show, that's when he had Nikki Haley on. And in him having Nikki Haley on, they talk about the presidential race and stuff like that, and talking about Biden and cognitive examinations. Nikki said she wanted politicians over 75 to take a mandatory cognitive test. Which I don't see anything wrong with that. I think they should take one even before 75. But he went and he said that she was past her prime. Basically calling her old, making her feel like you need to be taking yourself. How dare you ask for somebody to take a cognitive test? But yeah, that's the type of nasty stuff he would say. Mind you, he had 2 female co-hosts. So him saying that about another female, and his 2 female co-hosts, they younger than Nikki, but at the same time, they was sticking up for the chick. So yeah, I feel no ways about Don. So Nikki now, she found out about Don getting fired. And when she found out that he got fired, she said, good for that behind. Nah, she said, a great day for women everywhere. Now let's get men out of women's sports. So yeah, she gave no, just like I did, like, yes, good. That's what you get, bruh. The nerve and audacity of you. So again, I have no issues with him getting fired. He was a nasty individual to begin with, especially when it came to the pandemic and how he was treating people that was unvaccinated. And he just, if you was on fire, he wouldn't even spit on you. He was so disgusted with folks. And he didn't have no compassion or anything for anyone that was unvaccinated. I think he finally realized that, yeah, you keep pushing agendas, and just like any tool, when they tired of you, they'll break you and throw you away. And he realized that they used him enough and he's no longer worthy to them. So yeah, we throwing you to the camp. He had the audacity to write, I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have that decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would be able to continue to do my work. I would not be able to continue to do my work I have loved at the network. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. Yeah, buddy, your attitude. You're no longer needed. You don't give them ratings, and they sick of you. You get drunk at the New Year's Eve party. You don't even know when the ball gonna drop. You just need to get it together, okay? I don't know what you're gonna do. Maybe you could come on YouTube. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I don't feel bad for you. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.